Hey, it's the Garage Door, and we'd like to welcome the Crushtones. Hey, fellas, welcome.
How's it going?
Guys?
So let's take a moment, and if one of you guys would introduce the Crushtones. Who all do we have with us tonight?
Well, I'm Dan. I'm the lead singer, rhythm guitar player, and then we have Steven.
Hey, Steve.
Howdy.
Steven?
And Steven plays bass and helps write the songs and helps sing backup vocals. And we have Tom Towns. He's one of our lead guitar players. He does backup vocals, and then our drummer Jake and our other guitar player Keith are incommunicado right now.
Well, we were talking before we went on air that us drummers, sometimes we can be a little flaky. Not just sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Well, guys, tell us about the Crushtones. How did you guys get together? Just a short history, if you don't mind.
Well, we've been together now for we've been together for going on 9 years. Keith, our other guitar player, him and I have been together through the whole thing. Steven, you've been with us, going on 5 years?
Yeah, it's pretty close to 5 years now.
Tom, you've been with us for
about 2 years now?
About 2 years now. And Jake, our drummer, he actually just joined us back in October. So we put out an album about 5.5 years ago, and I'm really prolific, and we finally came up with a 4-song EP just a few weeks ago.
And the title of the EP is Not No More, is that correct?
Correct, yep.
So where'd the title come from?
From the lead-off song.
Okay.
First single, yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know if it had anything to do with the times, like not no more of this crap that we're going through, or what.
No, I don't know. We try to write songs that are deep and meaningless, and it just actually song's been around for a couple of years now, and we finally got around to actually recording it proper, and we felt it was the coolest song on the record, and so that's figured we'd name it after that.
Well, Craig, tell about discovering these guys. How did you discover the Crushtones, Craig?
I think it was Not No More that popped up. I heard it. You guys have a sound out of that drew me in right away. And the Not No More is catchy. So you hear it once, and before you know it, you're singing along with it. So
That's what we try for, isn't it, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, to me, yeah. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to have a hook, and I know I drive Steven and Keith nuts because they'll come in with a riff that's kind of more like punkish metal, and by the time I get it all done, it's turned into more of a pop rocker, and they think it's cool, and
it works.
I think it's cool, and we all think it's cool, and it works. I want songs that people can sing along to and not feel like they're being bludgeoned with negativity.
And it's got to have a hook.
yeah.
Gotta have the hook. That's exactly
You guys
right.
have that new power pop kind of sound.
Yeah, thanks. All right, I got a cat that just won't stop.
Never fails. It never fails. Well, there's a compilation. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it on Rhino called Children of Nuggets. I don't know if you guys have it. It's a great compilation. And I've said this before to a couple other guests we've had, but I think you guys, Not No More would fit in perfectly there. Just perfect.
I take that as a high compliment. Well,
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it was weird when Child of Nuggets came out, because it's like, hold it here a second. All the stuff that I loved when I was in high school and early college days, and it's all being anthologized in a box set. Damn it, I'm getting old.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think what part of it is that the hooks, you have, and I'm not putting, to me it's a compliment, a garage sound, which to me means organic, real, authentic, but it also has that hook. And a lot of those songs from the 60s that they're on the original Nuggets had that hook.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Able to do it. So, well, guys, let's jump in real fast. Tom, can you tell us some of your influences as a lead guitarist?
Oh, as a guitarist, anywhere across the board. Growing up listening to the Beatles, Bob Dylan, all of the old stuff. Later, becoming a metalhead, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, going from there to college radio, alternative music, and really finding different bands like progressive rock like King Crimson, or alternative rock like Dinosaur Jr. I just love Jay Mascis guitar playing. It's always been a big influence on me.
Cool.
Yeah, now I hear, I mean, and I'm not, don't know if you're a fan or not, Tom, but in some of the lead that I've been able to listen to, I hear a little bit, and I don't mean this bad, a little grungy sound to it to a certain degree. A little, just a little bit, not too much. So don't throw any stones my way, but it sounds great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Stephen, your influences, man.
Oh, geez. I started off with a lot of thrash metal. Actually, I started playing bass when I started the Crushtones about 5 years ago. So before that, I played a lot of punk rock guitar and vocals. So a lot of my influences are way back in the metal scene, and then I kind of went through the grunge, and I eventually landed in the goth rock, post punk, like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, and a lot of that stuff. So that's kind of where I draw from.
Very cool. Dan, what about yourself?
Well, I mean, I grew up listening to my dad's Elvis and Johnny Cash albums that he got, and got really big into the Beatles in middle school, and so I kind of progressed from there, and I kind of bypassed the whole metal thing, unlike the rest of the guys, and I got more into the college rock in the '80s, the Replacements and REM, and did get into some of the grunge stuff, in the early '90s. But I've always liked stuff with that's got a hook, the Beatles, and the heavier stuff, Led Zeppelin, and the Who has always been a big influence in late, the Kinks, so and just a lot of the melodic stuff. My tastes are all over the place too, which I think kind of helps. I do kind of have a strange affinity for classic 50s, 60s lounge music, and easy listening, and all of that stuff. And so I think it all kind of and again, it all comes down to melodicism. It all comes down to having a melody and a hook, and that's kind of throw it all together.
Esquivel, big fan of Esquivel.
Yep.
Love.
Yep. Yeah, the Latinesque album is quite the little masterpiece. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, Outer Space, Outer Time. I forget the correct name of it, but so if those of you out there who have never heard lounge music, check it out. It's a great genre. It's a lot of fun, and it's very melodic. Very much so melodic.
May lead you back to the Crushtones.
Yes, there you go.
Jacob, what about you?
Well, I'm from a younger generation, so I started listening to music a little later in these guys' life. But I actually started kind of in reverse. So when I grew up, I listened to local classic rock, right? A lot of stuff where I took a liking to Rush, Styx, and REO. I saw them live many times as a young child. So I always had that music exposure to actually guitar. I started playing guitar, and I transitioned into drums for the Crushtones. I've been playing for the better part of a year. Bonham's a big inspiration. I listen to a lot of alternative stuff. So from the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, big influence there with the grunge scene, Soundgarden, and Pearl Jam, and Nirvana, all the bands like that. That gives me kind of that quick pop sort of feel. And then I like recently just discovered current funk music. So I've been listening to a band, Wolfpack, almost incessantly for the last, 2 months or so. And that's done a lot to change the sound of the music that I play. Because before I just wanted to punch and hit everything as hard as possible. But now I want to use muted techniques. I want to use different cymbals that make less noise. I'm buying thicker heads now so that I can hit them hard with the same velocity, but they sound more of that soft rock, So to try to bring that same energy that I have as a younger person, but with the fit of the sound, right?
We're not going soft rock though.
Well,
I want to make that clear.
Ventura Highway. No.
I think that's what makes a lot of good bands is that everybody's got a little bit different
Yes.
take on the songs and what they like, and you guys have meshed it together really well. So I really like the EP that I've heard so far. So
Yeah, you make the stew. Everybody puts their
That's
little
right.
bits into it. But I'm kind of Jake. I'm more. Having grown up and with a lot of that '70s influence, I want those drums to ring. I don't like what I call the dead cardboard box sound that were on a lot of those '70s recordings. You know, where
see, I started with those Evans water, the liquid filled.
Yeah,
heads.
the-
oh yeah, yeah. I did that too, and I'm like, what am I playing? Jazz or rock and roll music? What's I quickly learned that was a mistake.
Lizzy albums and how bad I mean, you got great guitar players and it sounds like they're playing on dinky little guitars, and then the drums just they sound like playing on a cardboard box, and it's like, God, they should have sounded so huge.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is they let engineers take over. No, I'm kidding. I need to be careful. So who produced Not No More? I mean, did you guys do it yourselves? Did you, as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, we did it ourselves, and the guy that owns the studio that recorded us, Anthony Lee, Flatlander Audio recording. He played the drums on the EP because we were looking for a drummer at that time, but he helped us produce it as well. I mean, we already kind of had a vision for what it was going to sound like when we went into it. And again, everybody throws their ideas and all of that into it. So to me, it's a collaborative thing. I don't really like to single out anybody for
Sure. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, is there, pardon my ignorance, is there going to be a physical release, you guys, or is this just digital?
Right now, just digital. If we can get enough interest, we'll throw some CDs out there. I'd love to do record, but man, to come up with the cash, and right now with no live shows to be done or any way to generate.
With no venue.
Right. Yeah.
How are things up there in Michigan about that? If things still closed down?
Yeah, the restaurants are finally going to be allowed to reopen with 25% capacity Monday. Indoor live bands, that hasn't happened since March, and I'm not comfortable with it yet until more people get their vaccinations.
Dan, I'm the same way. I am the exact same way. Our band hasn't played since March. I mean, we just haven't. We've done a few things to go online. We did get together once when things had settled down in Indiana for a little bit, then things ticked back up. But I was very paranoid. It wasn't fun because I was just too paranoid.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
we
too paranoid.
were able to play once, I think, when stuff settled down a bit in October.
Yeah, Halloween. It was outdoors. Yeah.
So when you guys are able to get back on the road, do you usually just kind of stay in the Midwest, or you have anything planned that you may be doing?
Right now, I mean, kind of sticking around the mid-Michigan area. The whole thing is when you got, a couple of us are middle-aged. I'm sorry, Tom, they're out here. Families and careers, so it's it's difficult to get out and
do the whole road thing again.
Right.
Yeah.
You go and play for 45 minutes and get paid with beer and food.
That's fine when you're 22, but not so much when you're in your 40s. Yeah.
Or older.
Yeah, to be back in our 40s again, I tell you.
I'm still there. I'm going to stay there as long as I can.
Well, now I have to ask you guys, MC5, any of those early Michigan bands influence, Iggy?
Most definitely.
Been into those guys for 30 years. Early Bob Seger, Mongrel. What a great album. Jeez, I mean, I love Bob Seger, but God, after Mongrel, what the hell happened? Iggy, actually Tom and I, we actually went to go see, actually it's a funny story because we went to go see the Stooges when they did their reunion tour back in 94 or 04, 05, whenever it was. And yeah, we're heading down to Detroit area, and we noticed that the traffic lights are on. I'm like, what the hell? And we keep going. Well, then it turned on the radio, and that was when the big blackout of the East Coast happened. And
Oh, that's right.
wound up having to, a couple of weeks later, they had to reschedule. And so, yeah, it was really cool getting to go actually see the Stooges, you know. It was pretty cool.
Very neat. Very neat. Well, you know, what Jack White is I know he's made a pressing plant. Gosh, I'm trying to remember where in Michigan. Maybe you guys can fill
It's
me
in
in.
Detroit.
It's Detroit. Okay. The reason I know that is 4 of my like 7 copies of McCartney 3 came out of there. We won't talk about that though.
Yeah.
Sad. But anyway, Michigan's a vibrant scene. I'm hoping you guys are able to get out and at least it'd be Indiana's not that far a trip.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you never know.
I've got
There's a-
family
there-
there.
We
It's possible.
if we can get a fan following on your radio show, you know, we might be able to make it happen.
Well,
Oh,
we're
that would be
working on
awesome.
it.
Yeah. There's a great venue in Indianapolis called the Melody Inn, and they have like a punk garage night. Not necessarily that, but it's just a great venue. It's one of those old time
Oh,
places, kind of small venue. There's another one in Louisville, which Louisville's about 2 hours away from Indy, called Zanzibar's. A lot of bands go through there and play there. Even Sean Lennon played there with the Ghost of Sabretooth Tiger, and that was a great show. So there's some great bands in there.
So we're gonna have to work on getting you guys down this way.
Oh yeah, hit us up.
That'd be great.
I'm sure we could figure out how to make it happen.
Yep.
All right.
Well, I got it. We always do this segment. I don't know if any of you guys are gearheads, but we always ask what you play, what kind of gear you like. Tom, do you mind jumping in there?
Fender Jazzmaster, Big Muff.
Good choice.
What was that?
Good choice.
Thank you. And Bugera half stack.
Oh, nice. Jake, what are you playing?
Right now I'm playing a trash kit, true to garage form. I'm playing a kit that I pieced together from parts local auction houses across town. I threw some new heads on there, bought a couple replacement cymbals.
Yeah,
Nice.
good to go. That's all you need.
Yep.
You and Levon Helm, man. Levon Helm did that, you know, with the band. He put that kit together. Okay, Steven?
Usually I use a Fender Precision bass through, recently I've been using an OBC 410 orange with a 1,000-watt Terror bass head.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
But
Sweet.
the recording was actually with one of those new 2019 Gibson DC tribute LPs.
Oh,
Really
very nice. Very nice. All right. Dan?
I usually use I have a mid-80s Gibson SG or Epiphone Casino are my 2 main guitars. And you know, I generally use Big Muff and Fuzz Face, and I do use a Rotovibe quite a bit, and I run through Vox AC30.
Cool.
Oh, nice. Nice. You know, saying guys, what I've heard of you, I hear a little bit of Badfinger in there, and I'm a huge Badfinger fan as well.
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you know, they played that SG. You know, I think Pete Ham played that SG quite a bit. So SGs have a unique sound in the history of rock, I think.
See, I think it's funny.
Love mine. I was playing a Les Paul for years and years, and when I got that SG, the Les Paul kind of got relegated to kind of being the backup guitar. I never would have thought it, but that SG is pretty badass.
Does Tom ever try to steal it when you're not looking?
I think we all do.
No comment.
You know, it's funny, Troy. You say you hear Badfinger, and I can hear like the Kinks. So
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that one before, and the Kinks in the last 8 or 10 years have become really a huge influence. I mean, I never really got the Kinks until about 10 years ago, and then and then it's like bam, buying up everything, and especially all of that 60s stuff. I mean, I don't from kind of Kinks up through Muzzle Hillbillies. I don't think there's a bad track in any of them.
right.
No. And they just reissued Lola and the Power Man too, which that's kind of going, that's into the a little bit the 70s. But yeah, those you can't go wrong with those 60s Kinks LPs.
Yeah.
You really can't. Now I prefer the mono stuff. You can search out on Reprise. You can search out that mono stuff on Reprise.
Actually, I bought or myself for Christmas a couple of years ago. They did the British version of all the mono albums on vinyl that I picked
Sweet.
up, and it's some of the quietest vinyl I've ever heard. Almost as quiet as the Beatles mono.
Oh yeah,
vinyl
that
box.
mono box.
You
Yeah.
know, that I don't think you're going to top that one for sheer quality.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to let you get out of the garage here. Appreciate you coming on very much.
We really do
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Well, we appreciate you guys taking an interest in us and having us on your show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys sound great. That'd
All
be
right,
great.
guys. Stay safe. Spread love and peace. Here's Craig's part, he always says.
Or hate and discontent. It's up to you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.